Welcome, I'm the Deadwood Jedi. This is another Raid Shadow Legends video, and today we're gonna have a fun experiment. Now, I'm gonna warn you ahead of time. I filmed this a while ago, a few days back, and the sound quality is not good. The editing is okay because I just filmed too much, and so I was having to cut it. It's just not gonna be great. I'm sorry about that. Like, I generally do classier videos. This one's just like a step below, but I wanted to do it anyway. And the reason why is I thought this was a kind of a fun little experiment here. Basically, there were a few Reddit posts that my clanmate Dykstra pointed out to me, and it was talking about, is Kael your better starter champion, or is Ninja your better starter champion? Who should you level up first? Who should you focus your energy on? And it's a pretty good debate, actually. There's some points on either side. Kael has access to faction wars right away, which means you can forge gear, specifically perception gear, which can be a big help for your early game account. On the same token, he's also very good AoE nuker for the arena, which is really valuable. On the other hand, Ninja is really good at taking down bosses in dungeons. He's got CC abilities with the freeze. He also scales really well into the end game. So there's more long-term potential with him. One's rare, one's legendary. So obviously there's going to be some differences here, and I figured we could take a quick look at them. So I'm going to take both these champions. I'm going to give them the same exact gear. If anything, I'm giving Kael a little bit more, and we are going to take them and we're going to look in campaign, see how they are as farmers, and bring them into Dragon and see how they are in those dungeon runs. And this should give us a pretty decent idea of the places where they overlap. How good are they? And I think it should be pretty exciting. Now, here's the thing. I gave them the same exact gear. I took it off Ninja, I put it on Ninja, and then I took it off and put it on Kael. So they have pretty much the same exact gear. Also, Kael, fully booked, fully mastered. Ninja, unbooked, unmastered. So this is going to be a pretty interesting comparison, I think, to which one's going to be better for you. So hopefully you guys can kind of draw your own conclusions. I found the results pretty interesting. So without further ado, oh, by the way, if you like the music, because there's a lot of it, Soundstripe link is down below. Apologies again for the quality of this video, but I think you guys will get some enjoyment out of it. So let's look at it. All right, this is Ninja, right? Geared out. I tried to make this as free to play friendly as I can. You'll notice the gloves are 16, but their crit rate, I did want to get us that crit rate cap so we can see how much damage these guys do. The boots are 16, but they're 4-star. The chest is a 6-star piece, but it's only leveled up to 12, and everything else is a level 12 shield, 12 helmet, and a level 8 weapon. Like, this is very basic. We have them in lifesteal gear with an accuracy set. I have no ring, I have no amulet, and I have, the only thing I added was an accuracy banner, only rolled up to 12, and it's only 5-star, just because I wanted to make sure we had enough accuracy so they can actually land the debuffs, and we can see that part of it, because that is an important part of the kit. But I know when I was coming up, it's hard to get that jewelry stuff, so I figured, let's leave it off. I know it's expensive to roll anything to 16, so we kind of kept that down. But this should give us a pretty good balance of, what this champion can do. Now, we have them at 2,500 attack, 1,600 defense, 30,000 HP, 183 speed. A little fast, to be honest. 105 crit rate, like I said. Crit damage is real low. Almost 200 accuracy is really nice. So I figured this should give us a good idea. And you can see, skills are not booked. Not booked at all. Doesn't even have masteries, guys. I have them if we want to put them on. But I figure we'll try it first without any masteries, just to see. Can he compare to Kael? I don't know. We'll find out. So let's go ahead. We'll take him into a couple different areas of the game, and then I'm going to do the exact same thing with Kael. I'm going to take that same gear, put it on Kael, and we're going to look at it exactly the same. It's fine. Let's see if we can't do 12-3 on hard. See if that works out here. I can't imagine this is much of a challenge, but this is pretty attainable gear, I think, for most people. All right, these are definitely tougher opponents, right? We're not going to be able to smoke them as simply as we did before, or maybe we can. Just takes a smidge longer. But look at this. This is a great campaign farmer for you guys. Completely unbooked. Only has 2,500 attack. He's not even really built for damage, but he's also not built for sustain. It's not like he's got great HP or great defense. He's just not taking that much. That veil is extremely powerful for keeping him alive. There you go. He's not going crazy fast. 183, it might be fast for some of you out there. There's no joke about that. but he's got speed boots on. Honestly, I could farm better gear going through the campaign than what we have on him right now. Maybe at the hard level, he's a little bit better gear than what many players would have at this stage, but he's in no danger of dying, which is just insane. And just wiping through these guys, which is great. So we'll take him in the brutal. I think that'll be a better showcase here. Oh wait, was that brutal? Was that brutal we just did? We'll try Nightmare here. Let's try Palace of Aravia. We'll see how this goes. Let's see if we can't get ourselves some speed boots, right? So yeah, you can see it right up there. 6/6 Nightmare. Who knew? Let's see what we can do. If he can do it. I don't know. So we'll just see how it goes. I mean, the burn's always great. The hard part's going to be survival. But see that freeze right there? It gets him that extra turn. When you bring in allies, it gives them the opportunity to go. It's a very strong ability right there. That's the part that I think gets underlooked sometimes. You know, we always think about a lot of times, and this is natural, we're gamers, right? You know, who does the most damage? That's what I want. I want big hits. Who does the most damage? It's not always about that. It's about the team composition. And when you have a champion like Ninja, he's going to make your other champions stronger. Let's think about it. Let's pair Ninja with, say, an apothecary, right? Someone that makes him go faster. All of a sudden, he's getting those attacks more and more often. That's great. Let's pair Ninja with a Kael or somebody else that can new card. All of a sudden, you're setting them up, right? You're delaying the enemy from going, giving your champions more opportunities to get their attacks in. Very nice. I'm shocked that he's still making it. I mean, the lifesteal is crucial, right? He keeps going down and coming back up, but the fact that he has that veil is allowing him, because it mitigates what, 15% of the damage, it's allowing him to survive and sustain through that. And then that freeze is doing the exact same thing. Not only is it an AoE hit, so he's healing up, but it's giving him that opportunity to like burn through those debuffs that do land on him. That decreased defense isn't a thing because he's able to go right through it. Okay, all right, we were able to get through that. Okay, we're gonna take him to 12-3. We'll see if this works. This one's a tough one, right? I don't even have a farmer for, I don't farm Nightmare. I don't have a farmer for this. This one might be a little bit too tough for him to actually handle. I'm not really, see, yeah, this one's too hard. Okay, so can't do 12-3, not a problem. Being able to get through half of Nightmare is insane on his own with the gear that he has on. It's pretty impressive. Basically, when I look at Ninja, I think when you get to the end game, he's amazing for Dragon. He's amazing. He can actually be amazing for Fire Knight with the right team. I mean, we're talking like stage 25 and stuff. He can be really good for that. A lot of people really like him in Ice Golem. He's just basically not good in Spider's Den. And he's not like top tier for any of those other ones. But for a starter champ, for your first champion in the game. Okay, so we're going to pair him with two champions. We're going to pair him with Bellower and Apothecary. Apothecary here, honestly, I really just threw some gear on him. We have good speed, and that's about it. A lot of HP on him, but hopefully that gives us an idea. My whole goal is just for him not to die. All I want from him is some healing and some speed, and that'll be great just to showcase what we're getting here. And then Bellower here, again, the idea is just to get the decreased defense out there, and just kind of, see some fun hits. Good speed. Everything else is so-so. I took his crit rate down because it was a little higher. Attack's not very high. He isn't stun set, but I figured that is a build that you do with Bellower, so I don't think it's like asking too much. So let's do stage 16. This is a usual stopping point for a lot of people. You're getting 5-6-star gear along with 4-star gear. It is void affinity, so everybody's pretty viable. And yeah, they definitely have some HP. They're going to do a little bit more damage, so it's going to be more of a thing. But look at that freeze. That freeze is so strong. Being able to get that out on all the enemy is really nice and just allows the rest of the champions to do their work. So it's I would say pretty good. Pairing him with somebody like an Apothecary, someone that gets you some speed, is really nice too. Definitely gives you some advantages as far as getting through the content. He has his own turn meter boost on his A1. When you combine the fact that he's stopping the enemy by freezing them, he's just getting a lot of turns over and over again, and that can be really beneficial for a damage dealer like that. Damage dealer not currently built to deal a lot of damage, so we're to the boss, and now we're starting to see that HP burn really come into effect here. Hits pretty decently hard. I mean, it does good work against the bosses. That's always a nice thing. Yeah, there you go. 2 minutes, 12 seconds. Not too bad. Did 800,000 damage, which I think is pretty good. I mean, we might as well see what we can do. I don't think this is a team that will survive stage 20, but we can check. We can try. We can see what it can do. Okay, so we lost Ninja in there. Kind of defeats the purpose. That's good to know, though, right? Like, we lost him about halfway through. You know, he's not enough to do it on his own. I don't even think these two can do it by themselves here. So we'll back out. It's kind of interesting, though. I mean, definitely was good. Got us through those waves. It was slow but steady, and you know, if we had a little reviver in here, maybe it would have gone a little better. I actually meant to bring in Haru specs instead of Apothecary, but you know what? It's fine. It's fine. We got a good feel of it. That's the whole point here. It's really not about how this is really more comparison, right? That's what we're looking for. So I'll back out. Let's try getting Kael booked out. Okay, I've moved all the gear over. It's on Kael now. My ninja's naked, guys. He's got nothing going for him anymore. It's all about Kael. When we're talking starter champs, the cream of the crop. Why? Because Kael hits hard and he brings the poisons. I mean, my first was Elhain, but you know, whatever. Here's what we're doing though. Same exact gear, right? Haven't changed anything on the pieces of gear that I have on this champion. Of course, the jewelry can't be the same. They're in different factions. Well, I figured why not let Kael keep the ring? You know, get a little extra attack, get some defense. Sure. Let him keep the crit damage. It's fine. Doesn't matter. And we got an accuracy banner. A little bit slower on the speed, but otherwise actually probably better than the other one. So what's the result? Well, we got a lot of accuracy, 212. We've got definitely over 100% crit rate. We can go here to stats. Almost the exact same speed. You'll notice his attack is lower. There's a difference between their base attacks. It has an effect on how much attack total they have. That might be a big difference. Lower HP, again, lower base. He does have an aura though, so that'll help. About the same defense, crit rate, he's capped. Does have more crit damage. I gave him the amulet. That's going to make a difference. So we'll see. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. He's mastered. He's got masteries, right? Now, are these the right masteries? I don't know. They're masteries. It's already a step above. He's got Giant Slayer, so that's definitely going to have a factor on it. This is more of kind of like a weird arena clan boss blend. Like arena, you'd probably come Helm Smasher or Flawless Executioner. You know, probably for dungeon work as well. But, you know, this is fine. This is good for bosses, though, in dungeons, War Master. So it's probably more of a dungeon build. Should be fine. There we go. Now, I mean, this is the farming stage, right? This is where I farm 12-3 on Brutal. So we'll see how he works as a solo farmer. I mean, it's been established that he's solid, right? Any of the starter champions can farm this. And, you know, I guess I have them too well built, because clearly they're farming without issue, right? 12-3 is not going to be an issue here. All right, got through. Pretty solid. Actually, really solid. Faster than Ninja, I would say. 6-6 Nightmare. You can see it right up there. I don't know why it keeps reverting to Nightmare, but there you go. All right. First hit's definitely good with the AoE. Then we get the poisons. This is where it gets a little rougher, right? He has to take his turns and go first. He doesn't have that veil that allows him to survive. He doesn't have that freeze that allows him to take a break and get a second hit in. And that's where you can see some problems with it. This is definitely rougher. He's hitting very hard. And currently I would say maybe even harder than Ninja was, but you know, books, masteries makes a difference. Makes a big difference, actually. But what's interesting though is he has a hard time surviving on his own. And that's one of the benefits of Ninja, is I think Ninja works really well with other champions, right? I mean, if you just want a nuker and you just don't have the books, yeah, Kael's gonna be great. As good, if not better than Ninja. But when you can work with other champions, I think Ninja shows his abilities a little bit more. But we'll see how this goes. That was pretty solid. Got through it, you know? Wasn't easy, but we got through it. All right, 12-3 here. Let's try this. Now, I'm pretty sure, if I recall correctly, Ninja struggled with this too, so this is not... Oh, God. Wow, buddy. Okay, yeah, that was not pretty. Apothecary's lead. Now, honestly, I would usually have Kael as lead because he's got a nice aura, but Apothecary is a really good one too, and that's who we use for the other run, so we'll go ahead and do that here, and we'll see how this works. Obviously, the CC of Bellower is going to be really important here, which is just an added benefit of him, and it's really going to benefit Kael, I think, more than anything else, to help restrict their movement. Whereas, on the other hand, that's something that Ninja does bring, is he brings that CC effect. Pretty solid. Yeah, definitely getting through it. And you can see Kael does really good damage. He's got good multipliers on his kit, but he is squishy. He's already like taking a lot of damage right there, really relying on Apothecary to be able to heal him. And that's always the trick with him. Ninja, that's less of an issue. And I think that's actually one of the reasons why Ninja might be a better choice to start off your builds with. Not only do you obviously not need books to be successful, but the fact that he has that veil that he puts on himself lets him stay alive a lot longer. He's not targeted as much, so that means you can build more attack on him without having to worry he's getting attacked. And the veil helps him stay alive if he does get hit with AoEs and stuff. But look at those poisons we got from Kael. That does a big chunk of damage right there. Definitely keeping that dragon down. I think that's very, very effective. Quite good. So we did get through it, probably a little bit faster than the other build. So let's see now, stage 20. That's the last one we ended on here. We'll see how this fares. I think that'll be the last challenge for this. Let's see how it goes. Here, I'll take myself off screen. You guys can just watch. What is it about me saying I'll take myself off the screen that instantly makes a champion die? Like, what is it? So, I mean, this is a problem with Kael. He's just squishy. And it's really hard to avoid that. Okay, so you just saw Kael kind of fail in Dragon 20. Ninja did too, but I think we can take some interesting lessons from this stuff. The fact that Kael is a much faster farmer of campaign is really interesting. It shows how hard he hits, how strong those AoE skills are. He was 19 seconds on Brutal, 12-3, whereas Kael was about 58 seconds. That's a big difference when that's your main farming route. So that's a big point in favor of Kael. We already talked about the faction wars. We already talked about the arena usage of Kael. So you can see as starter champions, the starter champions are really good. They're great. They fill their role as starter champions. They're going to help you do the things you need to do right away. That said, when we take them into dragons, it's clear that Ninja is maybe not a faster champion in that, but a more well-rounded champion, right? The fact that he has that AoE freeze, the fact that he gets those burns, and he cools down his own skills, so even not having him fully booked isn't as bad as you might think. He plus also gets that turn meter boost on the A1. There's a lot to like about his stuff. And he survived a lot longer than Ninja did. Or I'm sorry, than Kael did. He actually almost survived against the final boss on 20. So I think you can see there are some definite benefits to having Ninja on your team. I've kind of gone back and forth on which one do I think would be best to start with. I think Ninja is easily the better long-term choice. But if your primary pick, your primary reason is to farm campaign, to level up your account quicker, man, there's a really strong argument to be said that the starter champions are better. Like a really strong argument. I don't think you're gonna go wrong either way, right? Both these champions can do all this content. They're both really useful against the dungeons. They're both really useful in campaign. You're going to have to figure that out for yourself. And it's not like either one is going to be your only 6-star. It's just a matter of time before you get the next one. The fact that Kael farms faster might give reason to taking him first because he'll let you get Ninja up to 6-star pretty quick too. But there is something to keep in mind. Kael's fully mastered. That makes a big difference. He's also fully booked. It's also a big difference. Depending on the other champions you're able to pull, right? I placed them both with Apothecary and Bellower. Well, if I only had so many books, I'd much rather book up Apothecary and Bellower first and bring in my unbooked Ninja to pair with them, rather than having to spend that on Kael instead. I don't know. There's balances to this. I'm interested to hear what you guys think. Who wins the fight, Ninja or Kael? Let me know down below in the comments, guys. This was kind of fun. A little bit of a throwaway video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I mean, I don't know. I did. Until next we meet, I'm the Deadwood Jedi.